SoundCloud. Perfect. And we're going to go live here.
Okay. Perfect.
Just to pop up any second here.
Yeah, checking also the Facebook group, and we are live. Beautiful. Yes. Amazing.
And
well,
for this audio, give me 1 second. Always try to make sure the audio works. Perfect. Okay. So welcome everyone. We have one of our speakers this morning is Ayo, and she'll be doing a talk on, let me just make sure I have it up here. I'll let you introduce it because I just lost the page I had it on.
No worries.
Welcome.
Do you want me to start?
We're excited to have you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so today we are doing a conversation around six-figure offers and high ticket sales, and we will be speaking about feminine sales as well. But before we dive into this conversation, hello everybody. It is such a pleasure to be with you today discussing this topic. My name is Ayo. If this is the first time that you see this face, hello, I'm so happy and grateful to be part of this summit. And I wanted to give special thanks to Megan and to Jess and to Tiffany for making this happen, and to absolutely all of the speakers that are part of the summit. Thank you so much for co-creating this experience. Why did I decide to speak about high ticket sales and how to create six-figure offers today? Well, the inspiration came actually because we were in a discussion if high ticket sales still exist, and especially in our industry, in the world of being a spiritual entrepreneur, if this is still a thing now, because we went through this massive shift in the industry the last a year and a half, where things got a little bit all over the place, and we saw lots of coaches, guides, healers transitioning and going through a massive shift. And I felt called to do this training today because I want people to feel inspired and encouraged and in their fullest power to claim this, to claim six-figure offers, to claim a big, successful, profitable business done from the heart. And the reason why I am so passionate about that, and I love having these conversations, is because I am literally the embodiment of somebody who decided that I'm going to build a business like that. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been in business for 13 years. I've built and scaled 3 super successful and powerful marketing agencies. And in the last few years, I've been also a coach and a mentor alongside with running my marketing agencies. And I've done that through methods that are pro soulful sales, that are pro feminine approach, that are pro doing things in a way that you feel aligned and you feel fulfilled, you feel happy, and you are doing this in a way that you also care a lot about your mental health. And a lot of people think that when it comes to high ticket sales, this is either impossible, that you have to grind super hard, which is, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard. That is sometimes necessary. But when you are in your fullest purpose, when you are doing things with love, when this is really your highest calling, your mission, and you are so passionate about what you're doing, then the game completely changes. And so for today, we're going to have this conversation. We're going to have the conversation that is absolutely possible. High ticket sales are still there. and they are still extremely alive in our industry. I see many guides and healers and spiritual entrepreneurs who are doubting and questioning, is it possible to have high ticket sales if you're not a business coach? Like, that's another thing that I've heard so much. So today we're going to cover all this, and I also going to cover the main 3 aspects that every single high ticket offer has to have. If you want to create multiple 6-figure offers, I'm going to reveal to you the main 3 aspects, and I'm going to make it super simple. Within these 3 main aspects, there are actually some other elements. So we're going to reveal more things as we go and we speak about these 3 main aspects, but they are so simple. And that is the thing. You want to build a business that is simple. Simplicity is efficiency. I often say simplify to amplify. That is so important. And I've seen this with myself as well, because I've ran very complicated business models of multiple 7 figures, but the game was quite exhausting. Yes, it was financially rewarding, but it was taking a toll on my health as well, and it wasn't giving me the freedom that I want. And so I'm inviting you, with the creation of your business, when you're building this high-end business that is going to provide high ticket sales, to think about yourself and think about simplicity. And that is very possible. That's exactly what I'm going to share today with you. But before we dive into this training, for those of you who are watching live, and for those of you who are watching the replay, because I do know there will be quite of a number of people watching the replay and catching up, this is what I want you to do right now. And it has to do a lot with high ticket sales and the ability to create and come up with multiple 6-figure offers. One of the main key things that you want to have is you want to have a level of creativity that is allowing you to create these offers. And for you to do that and to have creativity and to be creative, this is what I want you to do right now. I do this with my clients as well. It is called reset. So probably by now you have been doing things. You have been moving around, you've been having client calls, or you've been working on your business. And I want you to take this moment right now to do a powerful reset. And I invite you to implement this practice of powerful reset within your day, so that you can be more creative, your brain can be more creative, your nervous system can be more creative. So this is what we're going to do. First, we are just going to completely relax our body as we're standing. And I'm showing you this practice that I do literally in between calls. I am pretty packed with calls. I have back-to-back calls every Tuesday and Wednesday, to the extent that sometimes I have like every 1 hour there's a call, and I have to very quickly reset. And so this is what I do. I completely relax my body. Like, it has to be super relaxed. Every single muscle, your stomach, your chest, your jawline, your eyes, your tongue. We want every single muscle in your body to relax. And as you do that, we want to become aware of the breath right now and fully inhale and exhale. And as we do that, with your hands, and as you breathe, you're going to do some powerful breathing. So you're going to lift your hands and you're going to go down like this. So lift them and down, and you're going to do this. And we're going to do this 10 times. And as we do this, and I want you to really go deep 10 times. So for some of you who are not used to doing that, you might feel a little bit dizzy. Take your last breath, and there we go. Now we have powerfully reset our entire nervous system. There's plenty of air that is flowing into our brain right now. So we are priming ourselves to be prepared to create these powerful six-figure sales, to be creative, because this is such an important part of high ticket sales, but to also to be more receptive, to be more empathic, to be more mindful, which is so important, and I'm going to get there. So this is a very powerful physical practice that you can do. Okay, now that we have that, I see people showing up. Annalie is here. Mary is here as well. Hello, hello to everybody. And so, as I promised you, 3 super simple things that you need to have in order to have six-figure offers. So what is actually six-figure offers? I'm not just speaking of an offer that is a six-figure, so $100,000 offer. I'm speaking about offers that have the potential to turn into six-figure offers. So for example, one of my offers, Path to Profit, which was launched last year, like almost a year and a half now, has over 215 people now within the program. So this is over $350,000 within 1 year from one offer, which is not even such a high ticket offering. My mastermind, Playing Big Mastermind, is also a multiple six-figure offer. And there's something significant about the creation of six-figure and multiple six-figure offers. And I often say not every offer has the potential to turn into a six and a multiple six-figure offer. Not every offer is a high ticket offer. That's just what it is. It's just not. So what makes these offers high ticket offers, the potential to be a high ticket offer and the potential to be above six-figure line? Like we're speaking about over $100,000. So one offer to bring into your existence over $100,000. Just imagine just one offer. And by the way, the offers that I'm speaking about, so for example, Path to Profit, it is absolutely automated offer. I'm not there to sell it. I don't launch it. With my mastermind is slightly different. Now, the mastermind is the typical high ticket offer. So what do we need first? The first thing that we need is to answer the question, why? Why am I creating this offer? What is the purpose of this offer? And when you create the why of this offer, make sure that it is reciprocating to the why of the client. Why would they want this? So what I see is a lot of people come up with different kind of offers, and it's almost like throwing spaghetti at a wall, hoping it will stick. And that's not how things work. So with my clients, what we do, and in my memberships, in my programs, in any single container that you could be in my world, I often speak about the reverse engineering process. The reverse engineering process, and when you think about the end result of the offer, and then build the entire offer from that point, from the end result. And the end result often has to do with answering the question, why? So if you go back in time and in history, and if you think about one of the biggest companies out there, so let's think about Apple, let's think about Tesla, let's think about SpaceX, like companies like that. They have an extremely powerful why. Their why is shouting, like you can hear their why. Why are they doing this? When you have a why that is clearly communicated, it is so easy for people to connect with your offer, which is so important. If you're going to go out there and if you're going to pitch a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $25,000, $35,000, $60,000, $150,000 offers, it is so important for the client to connect with your why, but it is also important that they feel deep inside of them that you also connect with their why. That is the key. So for example, Playing Big Mastermind, one of my masterminds, which is a high ticket offer. It is paid in full, I think over $12,000. There is a very strong why. Why? Because I want you to play big. I don't want you to dim your light. I want you to make bigger decisions. I want you to hold a space for more money. I want you to be able to hold a space for more energy coming into your life. I want you to be able to make bigger decisions. This is all why. Why? And in coaching, so for everybody who's watching and is a coach, as a certified trauma-informed business coach, the main thing that I can recommend that you start doing, not even with your offers, but even with yourself, with your coaching practices and with your clients, is to always ask the question of why. Why am I doing this? Why this offer? Why me? Why this client? Why will the client come and work with me? So figure out this greater why, a why that communicates an idea, a why that communicates a belief. What is your belief? A why that communicates a story. So this is so important. After we figure out the why, there's a couple of elements what we need to figure out in terms of the why. So why, when we have the why creates the opportunity for a community, for a movement. Now, if you bring every single expert in any industry you can think of, I just mentioned Tesla because I love their marketing, which is they almost lack marketing, paid marketing. Tesla doesn't have, they just recently started doing paid advertising campaigns because they were pushed by the stockholders. But there's so many incredible companies, and I've worked, for example, for Apple, I've worked for Microsoft, I've worked for Reuters and National Geographic. They have a very clear why. Why are we doing this? But their why is not just their why. It's not a why that they only understand, but it's a why that the community, the consumer understands. And when you do that, you create online groups, you create communities. And by the way, after this training is over, I have provided one of my freebies. It was about how to land clients in Facebook groups. And that is one of the places that my companies, in the beginning, when I started my business and my marketing agencies, this was the place, Facebook groups, where I was getting high ticket clients. In fact, Facebook groups were responsible a couple of years ago for me hitting over 1 million within 17 months. But that was not just like that. It didn't just happen because there were Facebook groups. It was because I understood the why, and I understood people's why. And that's why it was so easy to leverage groups and communities. And if you're not leveraging groups and communities, bigger groups, bigger communities with the people that share your why, we're having a big issue. In fact, a couple of years ago, that is how I became visible. And if there are people in this group and in this summit who know me, they probably remember there was a whole campaign, like a full year that I did in about 10 Facebook groups. And I even had this photo shoot with this very distinctive and specific type of a suit that I was wearing. It was, the color was a nude color with a very special cut, and with obviously different poses and different stories being told, but that was part of the brand. And it was so funny because when people will jump to have sales calls with me, they will say, oh my gosh, you are the lady in the pink suit. Well, it was a nude suit, it wasn't a pink suit, but that's what they would remember. And it wasn't only that. So I wasn't connecting with them through visuals, through the jewelry that I was wearing, through the colors that I was wearing, through the haircut that I was having, through every single element. That's, by the way, part of branding. I was also creating on a different level that is such a deeper level with the community and with the group. The intention when you build your why, the intention is for you to create first a connection before you reach out for the sale, before the sale is done. And I don't know what is your experience with high ticket sales, but I've been selling high ticket sales for like a decade now. We're speaking about anything between $1,000 to $150,000, right? This is a high ticket sale. And I've been selling high ticket sales, by the way, in different industries. And I've have friends and I have my closest people, including my friends, who are selling high ticket offers. And there's one thing about it, like even if we're speaking about multi-million, billion deals, there's one main thing. It's relationships. It's you building a relationship with this person. When you're clear about your why, people connect with you. They build trust with you. And so I remember last year, I was just starting to build my TikTok channel, and it was very wimpy, and it's still very wimpy. So this is a story of how it's not so important, like how you build something and what you do, but it's so important why you do it. And if you communicate the story, and further on, if you have a holistic brand that tells the story of why. Because what happened last year with my wimpy TikTok, because I'm always very transparent that I've made multiple seven figures through Facebook specifically, and mainly through Facebook. But my wimpy little tiny TikTok produced a high ticket sale of over $150,000 with a marketing agency in Toronto. They just watched one simple TikTok where I was sharing quickly the story of how I built and scaled 3 super successful marketing agencies. And after they watched this, they went through on a whole journey through my website, through my social media pages, which is another thing that I wanted to mention is when you go out there offering a high ticket sale, it is important to assess if your service has what it takes for a high ticket client. High ticket clients, they want an elevated experience. They want an experience that is something more. And it could be in terms of something more in terms of your branding, your delivery, the way you speak with them, the way you connect with them. And it could be because maybe you spend a little bit more time with them. It could be because when they go through all of your social media channels, it looks so appealing and delicious. It could be because they're reading the offer, and because you know the why, because you know them, they simply cannot resist it. And that's why sometimes when people come to me and they tell me, well, I'm not going to post frequently because that's not key, or I'm not going to have a website, or I'm going to have my crappy branding, that's okay. But who are you attracting? Like if you're attracting a person who you want this person to pay you 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 or whatever it is, you'd better be an expert. You'd better deliver. You'd better have a high quality offer. Gone are the days, and that is thanks to some people in this industry who ruined the high ticket offer because they were offering these really crappy offers for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. In fact, the past 2 years, I've been working so much with people who have been in a situation to work with somebody who charged them crazy amount of money for nothing. And that's a shame. We shouldn't allow this to happen. I believe that we can offer an incredible experience and we can charge a high ticket price. It's almost like, I don't know if you've been to these really high-end restaurants, high-end resorts, or if you went to shop in Versace or any of these brands, or you just went on this luxurious trip, or you were flying with the Emirates, their first class, which I've done it and it was so worth the money. It was exquisite. So that's what we want to deliver. We want to deliver exquisite, beautiful experiences that the client, when they read what's in the experience, and that could be a retreat, that could be a one-on-one, they're just wowed. Because here's what happens. When that happens, you want their loyalty. So let's talk a little bit more about what's inside the offer, which brings me to point number 2. So we spoke about the why. That's the most important. Why are you doing this? Why is the reason that you do this? And the second thing is, how do you deliver exquisite experience virtually? I'm going to get there. Thank you. That is such a beautiful question. Thank you so much. So the second thing is what? And that is exactly what I'm going to share with you right now. So what do we do? What do we do? If we are offering, for example, a virtual experience, so just like that, and we want to make sure, obviously, that this is an exquisite, extremely high level, high touch experience. First and foremost, it is so important for us in the package to offer things that are going to deliver results. That is the most important part. So remember in the beginning, I don't know if you were in the beginning, when I said the most important thing for you to deliver with high ticket sales is results. And that's very easy. So for example, when I was designing Path to Profit, my signature program, it's a 7-week program and it's called Path to Profit. Okay. So the intention is to help people make money fast because we have 7 weeks. When I was reverse engineering the process, within the first weeks of this experience, I had to make sure as an expert that I deliver training that's going to create results instantaneously, whatever the results are going to be, whether there's going to be a huge breakthrough, a huge identity shift, a huge shift in the mindset, or directly some kind of financial win. And that's how, by the way, the signature program is built. There are so many, by the way, programs that you go through 10 weeks and then the person is thinking, I'm going to leave the best for the last. Never do that. Never leave. In our culture, we can't do that. So in order for you to deliver this exquisite, amazing experience, make sure that the beginning, the very beginning of your programs, of your offers, of your one-on-one, it's potent. So how do we do that? How do we do that? We do it through knowing our clients, through knowing what they want, knowing what they need as well. Very often people say, well, it doesn't matter what they need. It's important what they want. Both is important because sometimes people want things that they don't need, but you need it. Like, for example, sometimes you have to sit down with this person and you have to be extremely direct. You have to be very direct. You have to really get super deep to the very vulnerable parts of this person in order to crack them open. So what is an exquisite virtual experience? It also depends on what is the offer that you are offering. So are we doing coaching? Are we doing some kind of done-for-you service? If it's a done-for-you service, so for example, for all of you who are VAs, if you are designer, web designer, graphic designer, what else? So you are visual, you're a marketing agency. What my marketing agency was doing with the virtual experience was, for example, I have one of the most incredible onboarding experiences. It's so flipping good. The structure is amazing. The emails, the welcoming, the customized touch, what is said in the emails, how is the person onboarded, what is the software that is being used. That's why, to be honest with you, if I'm going to buy a program for $5,000, in all honesty, I don't want to be in a Facebook group. I'm so sorry, but I don't. Like, at least a little bit effort of putting the videos on Kajabi or Systemy or some kind of a platform, or even the back end of your website. So how does it look like? Does it feel expensive? Do you put a workbook? Do you put a structure? There's so much level in this online world of basicness and of basic effort. It's not cool. It's also about customizing the experience, even though it's not one-on-one. If you've been in business for over 3 to 6 months, you will already have more or less understanding of your client. And that's why I often even say, ask questions, customize them. So what happened, for example, with Path to Profit? First, the onboarding process is on highest level. Second, there's personal touch. I connect with them. I have a conversation. I ask people. I communicate with people. The accountability comes through me, and they feel that. They feel this personal touch. They feel that I care. The second thing that is so important is, do we have a structure in the outline of the program? Do we have some text underneath the videos? Do we have some workbooks? It's so easy nowadays. You can literally go to Fiverr and hire somebody to make you a workbook for $5. Seriously. It's so easy. You have beautiful graphics. Again, you can go on Fiverr and hire somebody for $20 to create a beautiful graphic, not just some broken things that just don't look pleasing. We want this to be good. We want also the program not to be regurgitated, spit out somebody else. So let me give you an example. A couple of years ago, I enrolled in a program that was $8,000, and the coach was literally speaking like Regina the Pussy, the book, if you've read it. Seriously, that was it. So for me, that was extremely annoying, because I've read the book and now we're going through modules and I'm like, that's in Pussy, that's in the book Pussy, that's in the book Pussy. Why this program? I paid $8,000 for that. So we want, especially if you're a coach and you're a mentor, make sure that there's breakthroughs. You have your own methodologies. Come up with a method that is your method. Come with a framework that is your framework. Come with exercises. Come with homework. Come with accountability. These are just some elements that are definitely going to make the client feel like this is an exquisite experience. And then if we decide to make even a higher ticket, so for me, online programs, online courses, something that you do online without a one-on-one touch, without your coach, mentor, guide, facilitator being there, we can't speak about anything above $5,000. That's the absolute maximum. And so above 5,000 and above, we want to add intimacy. We want to add high level touch. We want to add high level of mentoring. We want to understand the client. And that's why so often I see this conversation of, should I be certified or not? Well, at least read books on, if you're a coach, at least read books on psychology, on behaviorism, on programming, on breathwork, on God knows what. There's so much out there, so that at least you know you're taking the client through methods and practices that are really changing them, that are proved to change people's minds and behavior and patterns and whatever that is. So we want Substance, that's another thing when it comes to exquisite experiences. Let me tell you something. I tell this to all of my clients who are coaches and mentors and course providers and healers and guides and all of that. The ones who provide high quality mentoring and high quality of assistance and guidance will be the ones who are going to stand out, because we are seeing now reshifting. In the last 1 year, so many people just disappeared and they're gone. And the reason for that was because there was no framework, there was no quality, there was no substance. And people wanted that, which we're going back again to knowing the client, listening to the client. So one of the things that I do with Path to Profit, for example, is I continuously ask the people, and there's like over 200 people in the program, they continuously get emails with feedback. How can we make this better? And people will say, add this. Oh, add this video. Like, for example, yesterday, there was one lady in the program who said, I would love to know your system of how you do stories on Facebook and on Instagram, because your stories are so amazing. And I'm always very transparent that I make a lot of money from stories, from Instagram and Facebook stories. So that was not part of the program, like the how-to. It was more of, this is what you need to have in the story. This is a must, this is a must, this is a must, but not like a step by step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And some people want that. So asking people what they want is key. Communicating with your one-on-one clients, that is also so important. An exquisite experience is also the experience of a person who is there and wants to help you, who knows how to communicate. So it's so important to learn how to communicate, who knows how to take you out of the shell. And when I hear people saying, well, you should be self-led, yes, of course, but sometimes people shut down. That's their way of dealing with stuff. Sometimes people close, and so we have to change that. So these are just some of the ways. And I want to be mindful of the time, and I want to mention the third aspect of building a high-end, high-ticket experience is knowing the how. So we spoke about the why, which is so important. Before you figure out the why, and I spoke about the why, that is so important. Then we spoke about the what, and then we spoke about the how. Like, how do we do it? How do we communicate? How do we present the offer? Through a voice of empathy, through a voice of understanding the person, through a voice of caring, of compassionate communication. How do we do it? Through building a solid relationship with this person. How? Through consistency. Like, I find it funny when some coaches teach people, oh, I just posted 7 days ago and that's fine and I made a lot of money. Okay, I get that. That happens. But here's the thing, psychologically, we build relationships, stronger relationships with people who we see more and more and more and more often. Like, think about even the relationship. When you are in a long distance relationship, it's so difficult, but especially if you don't FaceTime this person every single day, it's tough. You start losing trust. So that's why with the how, we want to be present. We want to psychologically create the feeling that we're there, because here's the thing, if you're not consistent with your message, with your why, with the way you show up, if you're not authentic, and authenticity is consistency, being consistent in what you're speaking, in the way you show up, people will not want to invest a lot of their money. Who wants to invest? Would you want to invest into somebody who's not there? I wouldn't want to do that. That doesn't mean that you have to mother people. Yes, of course, have boundaries, create and establish energetic standards, but you want to be there. You also want to follow up in a way with people. Like when people say, oh, I don't like following up. Sometimes there is the right way to follow up with people. Like I've closed so many 20, 30, 50, 80 $1,000 deals through a follow-up, through a powerful follow-up. And sometimes people might not be ready to buy Immediately, sometimes they might need more time. You are the leader who is there to support them. And last but not least, in the how is train. If you have a team, oh my goodness, I've worked with people whose teams, and I work with a lot of teams, I've worked with people whose teams doesn't know how to handle high ticket clients. And I had this issue in one of my marketing agencies. That's why I just had to close the whole agency, because the team was not trained to do that. So for example, you have a VA who's talking to people. You have to train this person how to communicate with the client, to be prepared, not to have mistakes. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Oh, I did this. Oh, this didn't work out. Oh, I sent you that. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is not what you want to do. You want a high level of service. Now, if you think of, for example, the Emirates, if you've been flying with the Emirates, they are so impeccable with their service. It's just a pleasure to be there. They listen, they communicate in a very mindful, present way. So that's another thing, like how do we present the offer? How do we package it? How do we price it? How do we communicate the value? How do we do all that? So we've been together for the last 42 minutes, and we went through three main aspects of high ticket sales, which were the why. Why do you do that? Like your whole business, your why has to be so solid. People remember brands with a strong why. People buy high ticket offers from brands, from people they trust. And even more so now, things have changed a lot. Like there has been so much misuse the last few years. Now people want real solid offers. And even if there are still businesses out there that offer high ticket offers, and the value is not there, nobody's going to refer people to you. Like for example, in my business, I had in one of my agencies, the very first month I started, I had 11 referrals from one client. I was sold out. It was ridiculous, just from one client. So it's so important to have a solid why. It's so important to know the what, like what's included, what's the offer, what are the different pieces, how do we make this experience holistic and complete, and last but not least, what is the how? How do we deliver it? How do we make it better? So these three elements are so important. And I hope that this was super helpful. Know that this is the easiest way that I can communicate with you how to create six and multiple six-figure and even 7 and 8 figures. Actually, this is the path to profit. This is the path to being able to create these offers and have a business that also has the high ticket model, which is such a must. Think about it. You do want to have a high ticket offer, a great quality high ticket offer. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm so grateful. I know that you are in for such a treat today with a lot of amazing speakers. My name is Ayo, and I hope that I will again see you soon. You can connect with me on Facebook. This is my place where I thrive. If you have any questions, if you need any support, somebody to review your offers, your entire business, know that sometimes the tweaks are very small. The changes are very small to take you to multiple 6, 7, and 8 figures. So thank you so much for being with me here, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day.
Okay, you're off the live.
Okay.
And let me stop recording.